before the attack in Sydney, which were just a couple of days in which 3 American citizens, 2 of them American military personnel, were shot dead, and it was a thought the president of the Syrian government laid on Islamic State. This was people who were killed, but sort of the Islamic State individuals that are here to kind of press. But now the resurgence doesn't look for resurgence. The UK has always been down, now they've always been a threat.
Thank you. Away, and we're always is at at least 50 miles from your homes this grass before you leave to rain, snow, and ice to forecast some parts of the country. So get ready for the possibility of floods and treacherous conditions out on the roads. NBC's Dallas Love Field Airport, nearly 200,000 passengers to pass through the airport for the holiday. The busiest days in Dallas.
Yeah, let's talk about here that's all weekend as we saw this really big rush, and some of them that we heard from not sure that they saw lines longer today. I think we waited until they waited that weekend. Because we are watching some weather, we anticipate some delays at places like Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. According to footwear, the percentage of delays to JFK in New York and footwear, and only 8% of the flights delayed. That's what we call Monday. It's about news we anticipate for this holiday. I think people are happier, pleasantly surprised what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a traveler's dream. We could be pleasantly surprised from the airport. When you mentioned how big of an impact that could have, both on flights and roads in the coming days.
Yeah, airports, almost everybody is choosing to drive. 90% of the record-breaking 122 million are going to be on the highways instead of the skies. It's going to be a wet time to leave pretty much any time out on the West Coast. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to drive out east. But if you're leaving today, you're listening to this from the car. Place says that it was before 10 o'clock. You still have a little bit of time to avoid that peak between 1 and 7 o'clock today on the roadways. Alice.
Right, Ryan Chandler in Dallas there. Thank you. For more, let's get to NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns with your holiday travel forecast. I mean, Bill, Ryan touched on some of the areas. Is it shaping up on both coasts this year?
Only ice to the Rockies. Really, all the is extraordinary. I mean, they have it pretty rough over the next 4 or 5 days. Bad enough that, Christmas plans canceled. Some people will have to evacuate areas because of the heavy rain and likely river flooding and flash flooding and mudslides and rock slides. So that's what really big issues are. Currently, that atmospheric river is coming straight into San Francisco and up here towards Sacramento. If we get any bad flooding, that's what will occur during the day today. 41 million people under flood watches as we head towards the Christmas holiday here throughout areas of California. A little section there also of southern portions of Nevada. But the highest totals, mountainous areas and coastal areas, someone will get up to a foot of rain over the next 5 days. So as we go towards tomorrow, we have a little quick system. Not a huge impact, not the first snow of the season, so I don't think it's going to cause huge issues. Treated will be just fine, temperature line in some areas, but we may have some airport delays early in the day in New York, Boston as we go throughout the middle of the day. Again, the airports are used to just delays. When you want to drive, especially all day, you will get snow as we go throughout your Tuesday. Keep that in mind, areas of the Northeast. Our snowfall, New York, the Harvard I-95 corridor, it's an inch or less. I don't think it's going to be that big of a huge impact. Once you get north of Vermont, especially north of heading up toward Portland, these areas have enough that's plowable snow. The Green Mountains will be the areas of Vermont. And by the time we get to Wednesday, everything is fine. It is amazing to the country. So we look at Raleigh on Wednesday, 71 degrees. All the issues, Allison, are for our friend.
Hey, Bill Cairns, thank you. We appreciate it. The battle by Warner Brothers is heating up. Next, out of a deal by the media company. That is next. With an update on the murders of Hollywood icon Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. The new details we're learning about their son Nick Reiner, who's been charged in their deaths. You're watching NBC News.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly Sublocade may help you move forward in your recovery. Sublocade with counseling and psychosocial support treats moderate to severe opioid addiction. Adults started on an oral dose of buprenorphine or already on buprenorphine. Sublocade is just one dose that lasts all month long with no complete detox required. Buprenorphine should be started after the first signs of withdrawal. Sublocade may cause harm or death if injected in a vein. As an opioid, it may cause serious life-threatening breathing problems. Ask about naloxone for opioid overdose. Get emergency help right away if you're faint, dizzy, sleepy, confused, and have problems breathing. Benzos, alcohol, or other drugs, including drugs that can cause your drowsiness, awareness problems. Emergencies, medical staff, you're on Sublocade for opioid dependence. Risks and side effects. Talk to your doctor and read more information. If you or a loved one with addiction, Sublocade help.
Depend keeps you drier than ever, so you can say yes to to more than ever. Yes. Yes. No. And the only thing stronger than us is you.
Alka-Seltzer Plus spread with 3 fizzy chews. Chew, fizz. Feel better fast. No matter leaking. Alka-Seltzer Plus fizzy chews.
Your happy place until back to bad odors. Fizz Plus is a microchip that alternates between bad odors and provides fresh to 50 days. Through pain, it's treating. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Add gels for pain. Strongly. Add this when news breaks. But the story is what matters. It's likely news with Tony.
I'm looking for some fast first. That's what it is.
A Philadelphia program is taking a different approach to help get teens off the streets and away from possible in the city. They are teaching them trade skills. Cars, building homes, learning how to use their hands and power tools. And Marquise Francis shows us they're making a difference.
Tuesday evening, about a dozen teenage boys will be at a community center in South Philadelphia to learn the basics of carpentry.
Ever since I joined, it's like I've been learning so much stuff.
Through Unity in the Community, an anti-gun violence nonprofit, teens like Eric Randall, who lost his cousin to gun violence in 2014, on the power of putting down a weapon and picking up a power drill.
The fact that we're anti-gun violence, all the young people that you got carrying guns and all that.
In the city with a long way fun to not just survive, but thrive.
That's what you do.
Through skill-based learning. But it doesn't happen just one day a week. On Mondays, the team fix cars. On Tuesdays, it's car. And on Thursdays, they have therapy. The one part of the academy that's mandatory.
Did you ever think about therapy before this program?
No. I was one of the ones who's like, we're not therapy for about emotional maturity.
In addition to the classes, students are go on several trips a year and earn a stipend of $150 a week. Data shows that cities zip codes with high rates of unemployment also have more shooting victims, while homicides are down around the city in recent years. The number of juveniles charged with a homicide in 2024 was nearly 9 times the 2016 level, according to the DA's office. Philly native Anton Moore founded the organization in 2009.
What is it about the city of Philadelphia that you love so much?
I love the grit and the hustle.
Given an opportunity, Moore says communities and the people in them can flourish.
A lot of kids don't
Direct impact on teens like Mir Blacksing. Before a student, now a student teacher. Or
you never know what people do outside this program. And this program is like a safe space for them.
Blacksing, who graduates high school in May, while also earning his associate's degree. Sees working with his hands as a calling.
I'm in the process of starting my own business about that. And this program is a major headstone for that.
A problem for him and the entire class, as they finish building 5 benches from scratch.
Fully functional.
How do you want people to see young black men in Philadelphia?
I want them to see us as young, successful kings. I want you to be able to ask me a question. I need my honest answer. You can pay me to do whatever you need me to do for your house or anything.
Marquise Francis, NBC News.
For money, Paramount has beat up its bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, the company's ongoing attempt to challenge Netflix's deal with Warner Bros. NBC News business and economy reporter Emily Lorish joins us now with the latest. Emily, what are the details here?
Hey, Allison. Paramount says it has adjusted its offer to WBD after there were some concerns as to whether billionaire Larry Ellison, the father of Paramount CEO David Ellison, would personally guarantee financial backing for the deal. Now, Paramount says it will maintain its cash offer at $30 a share, but that Larry Ellison has agreed to guarantee more than $40 billion. The amended bid also increases what Paramount agrees to pay if the deal falls apart. And Spotify is responding after a pirate activist group released metadata from the platform. It reportedly scraped more than 250 million rows of track metadata and nearly 90 million audio files. According to a blog post on Ada's archive, the purpose of the hack was to build a, quote, preservation archive for music. Spotify tells NBC News it's identified and disabled the user accounts and implemented new safeguards for these types of anti-copyright attacks. And once again, no Powerball winner year. So the jackpot grows again. It's now $1.6 billion, the fourth largest in the game's history. That's a cash value of more than $700 million. The next drawing is even higher. You've never gotten to.
No, but I'm like, kind of I will never have the luck to win, but
so again, do they have to make a piece of it?
I appreciate it. Music icon Manlo reveals he is battling lung cancer. Coming up, an update on the 82-year-old singer's health. Stay with us. You are watching NBC.
Higher than ever. Say yes to more than ever. Yes. Yes. No. Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling. If you still have symptoms after trying Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works different. Rinvoq is a one-stimulant can remedy joint pain, stiffness, and weak or something. And even if you're feels relief, Rinvoq can stop damage and
Vitamins for treat test for TB and do blood work. Serious infection clots, some fatal, including blood and skin, serious allergic reactions, eye tears, death, heart attacks. Authorities are scattered. Tell your doctor if you've had these events. Smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take allergic infection.
So, ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq. And he can help you save.
Your parents have given you some amazing gifts. Celebrate the ones you inherited with Ancestry DNA. Explore detailed family roots, cultures, and traits that shaped who you are today for only $29.
This little mile has been dark for quite some time. Then I let in the light to help see more of the light inside me.
I needed it from my cancer, so my doctor had it. Proven to provide greater relief from depression symptoms than medicine alone. Building progress without strain over. Weight gain and reflectional side effects.
Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of stroke. Kaplan is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Call your doctor for sudden mood behaviors or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks. Perfusions muscle movements may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain may occur, as can high blood sugar, which may be fatal. Common side effects are sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, dry mouth, feeling tired, and diarrhea. These aren't all the side effects.
Ask your doctor about Caplyta.
This is NBC 10 News.
Good afternoon and welcome to NBC 10 News. I'm Brenna Whitewood, meteorologist Robert Johnson, and your forecast, Robert.
Hey there, Brenna. We're watching a system that's rolling through the west and the Ohio Valley. That'll sneak through overnight and give us some rain and snow showers for the morning commute. But dry for now and loads of sunshine as we overlook the city. It's a beautiful day and we'll add in more clouds throughout the afternoon and keep breezy conditions. So at 2 o'clock afternoon, it's 1 degree, 5 o'clock this evening, so you still want the layers, but it's not frigid cold at least. Overnight tonight, we'll keep the clouds, and then by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, snow showers, especially from the city and areas to the north and Delaware. It's more like rain, snow, but it's mostly wet. It's north of the city. Again, a couple of with rain and snow showers in South Jersey, Delaware, and then it's all here. The last storm we're talking, no accumulation for South Jersey and Delaware. 1 to 3 inches of snow in northern mountains, and for the Minnesota, instead of inches at best. All the way down again, a coating with some just away with Mark's commute. Tomorrow after the morning, afternoon clouds from downtown, and you might be back over.
We are following local news stories. Right, first in Wilmington, Delaware, where a car slammed into a house with a home along Brandywine Boulevard. First responders are around the scene. We can find out about any injuries. Meanwhile, there is a police presence in Hunting Park. Sky Force 10 was on Old York Road and Cole half hour. The section of the area taped off as we investigate. As soon as new information on both of the breaking steps forward, check our NBC 10 app. A shooting investigation is underway right now at Septus Frankfurt Transportation Center. Police tell us 2 men were shot just before 9 this morning. 2 men were taken to separate hospitals. Their conditions what exactly led up to the shooting. SEPTA tells us the shooting did not cause any service disruptions. The search continues for a person who police say shot a mother and her 5-month baby in Park. They live on North Robinson Street that morning. The Bishop Hill was shot throughout her body. Her daughter was shot once in the leg. Both hopefully are expected to recover. The police department is upset. The family tells us it's someone in the victim's. A live look, Philadelphia International Airport. The holiday travel rush is shifting into high gear this week. The airport projects more than 1 million people will pass through here between January 4th. We talked to travelers who say the big crowd
crazy. Kept flights locked. Very crazy. She got here earlier. So I know it's gonna be this crowd that we got earlier. I'm gonna come back and say, board.
If you plan to drive here, avoid hitting the road if you can. AAA wants to drive today and tomorrow. The best to leave early in the morning or later at night. It's the ever New Year's Eve concert on the Parkway. It's waiting on the free concert headlined by LL Cool J, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and several other artists. Gates open up at 6 before the concert starts at 8, and it's a show at midnight. The mayor says it is an exciting year ahead to start on the night.
We're going to be the focus of the nation's attention. So let's begin it together. On the Parkway, on the waterfront, in our restaurants, or in our hotels. You can do one, you can do both, or you can do all of them. Feel you.
We'll have more details on the city's New Year's Eve plans coming up today on NBC 10 News at 4. That's the news for now. I'm Brenna White. We'll be back here in a little bit.
I got to. I'm 45. It's time to screen for colon cancer.
Will I ever see you again?
I love you. Also, I'm just a porch.
I need to trust you.
Just ask your provider or request online.
That way you can screen for colon cancer, non-invasive.
False positive. It is not for those at high risk. Skip the drama. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online.
Insurance. To save people hundreds!
Looks like we're rocking.
You're gonna have to.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Lee, and we live in North Pole, Alaska.
I was noticing my hearing was not so good, so I got hearing aids. My vision was not as good as it used to be. I had a change in prescription, but I was missing something for my brain. I saw a Prevagen commercial, and I thought that makes sense.
I observed the changes in Steve. I thought I should try that too.
After taking Prevagen, I just didn't have to work so hard.
Prevagen has been the #1 brain supplement nationwide for over 10 years.
After no trip. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief. The wow is real. And now try new drug-free Afrin.
Looks like Jack just realized some people think sex ain't sense. He gave it a shot too. Is he the laundromat cool dude now? Mix, match, or happy with game.
Today is all about pleasing. How did you go? Fine. And I love
We're giving away $14. We gotta get this money. This needs to relax. It's not getting bigger than this. The war, due January 5th on NBC and Peacock.
Welcome back. And right here in the news right now. Search and rescue efforts are releasing the coast of California who may have been a victim of a shark attack. That is according to a joint statement from the Coast Guard in the cities of Monterey and Pacific Grove. That's when a 55-year-old woman who was with a group of others. Instagram that Fernando says he is going to root, and it's good news since it was found so early. He says doctors do not believe it's spread, and he will be informed. Today, the funeral for Ella Cook of in her home state of Alabama. Cook was people knew her, described her as grounded, faithful, generous, and an incredible life. Police say the suspected gunman killed Ella and another student at Brown University, injured 9 more, and then traveled to Massachusetts where he shot and killed an MIT professor a couple of days later before taking his life. These escalated pressure campaign against Venezuela to the U.S. and Coast Guard in the Caribbean. This is the 3rd vessel the U.S. has chased in recent weeks. On Saturday, the Coast Guard intercepted another tanker last docked in Venezuela. And on December 10th, the U.S. seized its first vessel in the country's legitimate attention. Remember last week, President Donald Trump said he is not ruling out the possibility of war with Venezuela. NBC News senior Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley is following the list for us from Washington, D.C.
is using in the White House, where they're talking about this tanker known as Bella 1. This was an oil tanker put on the sanctions list in June of 2024 under the Biden administration because of ties that they think that it has to a network run by a financial backer of the Houthi terrorist organization. Now, it's not unusual for the United States to say, in fact, this goes back to the George unusual is the seizure of oil tankers. Remember, this began as we saw drug interdictions, boats carrying drugs being interdicted. Now, being the chief exporter of Venezuela's economy.
Julia, the Trump administration is conducting strikes on these alleged drug boats in the Caribbean as well as the Eastern Pacific. We know the president has said he's not ruling out the possibility of war. What does this all mean in terms of the escalating tensions between the United States and Venezuela?
Yeah, that's right. He said that even to our own Kristen Welker. And just over the weekend, Senator Rand Paul, who's very much against the vaccine so far, said he sees this as a to war. Now, also President Trump not that made a case to the American people are doing these things. We saw in a Vanity Fair article that Chief of Staff Susie Wiles said that they wanted Maduro to cry uncle because obviously they believe he's not legitimately elected, and there are scores of human rights abuses carried out by the Maduro regime in Venezuela. But as Rand Paul and others are pointing out, that hasn't necessarily been a reason to use American troops as the Coast Guard. It has to provoke another country in the way they are with Venezuela. The argument started that they were going after drug boats in order to save American lives, but we're not yet seeing the same argument made, of course, when it comes to which isn't threatening American lives, violating U.S. sanctions. So for now, seeing what happens on a day-by-day basis as they go after this third oil tanker, but still waiting really for a message from the White House to sell the American people on these facts and come up with a game plan that if there is war or if Maduro suddenly steps down, what is the U.S. plan here? What happens the next day if that does in fact happen?
Right. NBC's Julia in D.C. who's facing charges of the murders of his legends Robin Shellbreiner. With direct knowledge of the case, the 30-year-old was being treated for serious psychiatric disorders at the time of the crime. Nick Reiner is now behind bars and facing 2 counts of first-degree murder. He did not enter a plea in his court appearance last week. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz and NBC News legal analyst Misty Maris are following the very latest. Let's start with what we know so far about what allegedly led up to these murders. What else have we learned in terms of these about Nick's mental state?
Yes, we are learning more about his mental state, which seems like it could be a key part now in the potential trial. What resources with this case told NBC News is that Nick Reiner was dealing with a serious psychiatric disorder at the time of the crime. Those sources say Reiner, who we know had previously been open about his struggles with substance abuse, was diagnosed with schizophrenia some years ago, and that at some point, not a specific timeline, his medication had been changed or we also know that on Friday, which was 2 days after the first appearance when he did not enter a plea, a judge signed a sealed medical order that is confidential. Those sources say it may have to do with his mental health, and of course all of this then could play a big role in how things end up proceeding with this case.
Yeah, Misty, pick it up there. I mean, he is due back in court at the beginning of next month. How could this information impact the case against him?
So this is going to absolutely be a part of the defense, and in some way, but there are a couple of critical issues to look at. First is competency, which is his mental state right now. And looking at his mental state, the question is, does he understand the charges against him, and can he participate in his own defense? So that will look at his mental state to see if these proceedings can even move forward, whether or not he's competent legally. Then it comes to whether or not there could be a defense that's raised, potentially an insanity defense. This looks back at his mental state at the time the crime was committed, or a diminished capacity defense because of these mental conditions, potential drug use, the change of the medications, that he could not establish the requisite intent to have a premeditated crime. Murder in the first degree requires that element in order to prove the case. So this is certainly going to factor in at every stage of this case.
How difficult would it be for the defense to present either of those arguments to a jury? And in California, is there anything we need to know about how that state handles cases where that is used as a defense?
Yes, Allison, so the insanity defense is a very, very high bar, and California uses what's called the McNaught rule. And that means that the defendant essentially did not understand the nature and consequences of their action, or that what they did was wrong. So it is a really challenging defense to raise. The burden actually shifts from prosecutors. We know, we talk about it all the time, prosecutors have the burden of proof to prove the case beyond a reasonable the insanity defense, the burden shifts to them. And so it is a really high bar and challenge. And something that's going to be critical are Nick Reiner's actions before and after. If we start to learn that there were actions taken to cover up the crime, that really torpedoes an insanity defense because it would indicate that the individual knows what they did was wrong. So there are a lot of, as far as diminished capacity, that could reduce a murder one type charge. The argument would be that there isn't culpability for an intentional murder, but maybe a reckless murder to heat of passion because of that drug use. Voluntary drug use is not
anything in terms of tributes that are going to come in for the coming off their children will surviving and dealing with this after.
Yeah, the family themselves, ever since that statement they put out last week, have been spoken publicly further beyond the statement. But we are getting more tributes over the weekend. SNL aired a nice tribute to Rob Reiner, who actually was the third ever host of the show back in 1975. And the New York Times, his beloved wife, Michelle, Maria Shriver and Jamie Lee Curtis, many of her friends who described her as an accomplished photographer. A big part of her identity was that she was a daughter of a Holocaust survivor, and they said she was, quote, equal parts mama bear, social planner, and that she was the glue of the family. Finish the season.
For many people properly know diabetes mean the difference between life and death. About 38 million Americans are diagnosed with diabetes. Only 5 people do higher risk of serious complications like kidney failure. And our next guest is here to dispel the myths that it can only impact people who are overweight. She says biological changes as well as society's evolved relationship with food puts even the healthiest people at risk of diabetes, but is not impossible. Joining us now is Dr. Florence Comite. She is an endocrinologist and founder of Yale's Women's Health Clinic. She is also the author of the new book, Invincible: Defy Your Genetic Destiny to Live Better, Longer. That comes out in April. Doctor, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Let's start with what we touched on there, the misconceptions people have, and give us a basic understanding of what we're talking about when someone says, I have type 1 diabetes, and when someone says, I have type 2.
Those are great questions. I think the misconception is that we all inherited genes that give us diabetes, regardless of the way we look, whether we're thin or we're not, whether we have visceral fat or not, because it's a survivor gene. So in the days where there wasn't enough food and you could put weight on, put fat on, you can live off that food at lean times. And in terms of type 1 and type 2, we really focused on type 2, which I think of as multiple types, because every ethnicity presents in a different way. There are similarities, but all of us have this risk, given the times we live, the fact that food in abundance is not great food, the soil isn't great. There's so many reasons for it.
So what should we be doing or asking our doctors if we're concerned about ourselves or one? Are there any sort of tests that we can take, genetic markers, to know if we're more prone to maybe have type 2 diabetes later in life?
Absolutely. It actually can be invisible in children, but certainly by the
Don't be obese.
30s, there are several tests that would be important. Most of us get fasting sugar, but fasting insulin also gives us insight into insulin resistance, which is very, very common. And it's not only a problem for diabetes, but multiple other diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, like stroke, you name it. It's kind of the fundamental launch of all these aging disorders, which begin in our 30s, even if we don't have symptoms. We want something called hemoglobin A1C, and believe it or not, we want testosterone, and a particular form of testosterone, free testosterone, because as we age, there's a decline in that hormone that begins in our 30s, and that leads to less muscle and less ability to handle glucose in the diet, certainly processed food.
So if we're getting the tests done in our 30s and we're aware of our levels in our body, what are some steps that we can take to try to prevent it from becoming full-blown type 2 diabetes? Are there?
We can put on muscle. So you need to eat adequate protein, at least 1 gram per kilogram or 1 gram per half a pound per 2 pounds. If you're a light workout, if you work out heavy, you want to have lunch, up to 2 grams per gram. And then you want to be sure too, there are wearables that are very exciting. So for several years, we've been prescribing continuous glucose monitors called CGMs, which you wear in your arm. I actually got one right here. And it can tell you what your sugar does, if it goes high or low. Sleep impacts it, so try to adequate sleep, quality sleep. There are wearables for that too, but many of us wake up in the morning and we're still tired. And food can do that. Alcohol can interrupt it. Eating too close to it. So those are all practical steps people can take to really make sure they protect their health.
Really helpful advice, Dr. Florence Comite. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and your book is out in April. Thank you.
Thank you.
The new year is around the corner, which means it is time for resolutions. How you can make setting 2026 goals a family activity to help everyone stay on track. That's next on NBC News Daily, right after this.
Get the best of NBC News. On.
You're so rude.
Spread the word. You said, wow.
How many drinks are here? It's that time of year when one episode is to just one more season, and time doesn't exist until the clock strikes midnight. Wait, what time is it? It's time to finish strong. Thank goodness, we're not waiting for the next thing we've got. Join the club today for $115 a month, cancel that, and pay nothing until
Start strong, finish strong, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Finish strong. Fitness.
We're giving you and your loved ones the biggest gift yet. Boss House. Winter pajamas from all of your favorite brands are now 60 to 75% off. And get adorable baby, toddler, and girl pictures starting at just $7.99. Save on last minutes for your little ones. 20% off dolls, preschool toys, and stuffed animals. Let's get this Power XL dual door air fryer oven. Just $29.99. Our lowest price ever. Treat your guests to something sweet with Boscov's Chocolates by Asher's. Only $20.99. Happening now at Boscov's. And we're looking for 25.
Okay, but right now, I'm at workout.
I'm gonna be Morgana.
New customers, sign up 100% deposit match up to $2 payment.
Hawaii's favorite go-tos. So why not give our clubs and paninis a go? Customizable, craveable, layered on a perfectly made panini, or stacked in a toasty, satisfying club. Gotta have a Wawa.
Unwrap TV's gifts to you. Episodes every day. It's a fun-like, hour-long session. And 2 brand new shows too. Have a Merry Christmas with Cozy TV.
Families will be spending a lot of time during the holiday break, so now would be a good time to sit down and talk about your goals for the new year. Whether it's starting a new hobby or making a promise to get outside more, our next guest has some tips for getting started. Lifestyle expert Shannon joins us now with it's just so good to have you here as always. So let's talk resolutions about them and what are realistic ones in your view. Maybe sort of dabbling, discussing, I guess.
Definitely, it's a time. I actually love resolutions. I feel like it's like a clean slate of restarting, motivated and excited. And I think with families, the key is to try to set like a reasonable expectation that you can do something almost like every day in your everyday life that then becomes a habit. I was talking to my mom about this. We had said last year, because we were always running around being like, I was late. And my mom said, you know what? You're not 10 minutes early. You started in grade, so they wanted to be early. And I realized by the year, they weren't mad if we were 10 minutes. They were like, to we saw Friday, just like those daily routines and it's a habit, it's attainable. You see everyone doing it. It really is great.
Do you think it's more effective to do it as a group? But I mean, in terms of kids, do you have to adjust based on age?
That's why I say like be early, where everyone read a little more. Something that like we hold accountable for. I guess like see in a negative. Like this is not punishment. Let's do it together. Let's make a goal board so that we all see. Let's make a jar. Like once you write something down, I think that makes it that much more real in your mind too, like table. And I think just do something that you can do because an individual can seem like almost negative, where it's like I'll do this together.
You mentioned like jar in the board. Are those ways that you feel like help make sure that you know it's not a punishment? It's just we're going for a goal.
Yeah,
is that kind of
exactly. It's like let's do this. Let's make it. Let's put them in a jar. Let's write. Let's look at that jar and remind ourselves like we're so excited to do this together. I always say like let's make more mistakes this year. If you're not making mistakes, you're not even trying. Right? Like bring this into like make it a goal together. Like hit a goal. Let's have a break.
I gotta ask you, what are you planning and how are you going to celebrate with kids and young kids for New Year's?
So we always go out for like early with our family. We come home and we do. I don't know if you've seen this on social media. You make your own balloon drop where you get a tablecloth, you put it on your ceiling, put balloons in there, and then do your own ball drop. My kids are older, so we can say it's 9, but you could do it at 8 o'clock. You could do it at 9. It's just so fun too.
It sounds fun. I love those videos. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing all your fun tips and what like a go-to food snack? By the way,
a food snack?
Yeah.
Oh, what we're going to do it, yes, we do these ball drop mocktails where you got cotton candy, you put some edible butter in it, you put it in the mix, so it's like a little ball drop.
Yes.
When you drop it, it's sparkling apple cider.
Oh, amazing. All right, check out our social media for all the good tips. Stay with us. You're watching NBC News Daily. We'll be right back.
How you find out your COPD may be different than you call it. The inflammation triggering your drops could be by eosinophils. Color helps target that inflammation, and it's the only monthly auto-injector for COPD right at home. Picture less drugs and less hospital visits. Nucala is an add-on injection for uncontrolled COPD with a specific inflammation. Nucala is sudden breathing problems. Both reactions can occur. Anaphylaxis. Get help right away for swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or shingles have occurred. Don't start medicines, including steroids, unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May come back with diarrhea and cough. But now it may be time for something different. Ask your doctor about Nucala.
Depend keeps you drier than ever, so you can say yes to more than ever. Yes! Yes! No. Depend. Something stronger than us is you.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly, Sublocade may help you move forward in your recovery. Sublocade with counseling and psychosocial support treats moderate to severe opioid addiction in adults started on oral dose of buprenorphine or already on buprenorphine. Sublocade is just one dose that lasts all month long with no complete detox required. Buprenorphine shows the first signs of withdrawal. Sublocade may cause heart death if injected in the vein. As an opioid, it may cause serious life-threatening breathing problems. As an naloxone for opioid overdose. Get emergency help right away if you're faint, dizzy, sleep confused, have problems breathing, seeing or talking, or opioids, alcohol, or other drugs, including street drugs. This can cause severe drowsiness, depressiveness, breathing problems, coma, and death. In emergencies, tell medical staff you're on Sublocade for opioid dependence. This isn't a full list of risks and side effects. Talk to your doctor and read patient label for more information. If you or a loved one is struggling with opioid addiction, visit Sublocade.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with pills, so you can enjoy the feeling.
This is NBC 10 News.
Good afternoon and welcome to NBC 10 News. I'm Brenna White. Let's start with first meteorologist Robert Johnson.
We're not full day today with a mixture of sunny clouds, captured area that will be breezy with a from 10 per hour. We got a high 48 degrees an hour now, 40 and also 50 today in Vineland, New Jersey. Then overnight tonight, we keep the clouds around in the overnight hours. There's rain and snow showers right after midnight. We fall to around the freezing mark and below the neighborhoods. We drop down 31 degrees overnight tonight, 30 in Coatesville, right at the freezing mark in Philadelphia, 20 in Vineland, and 32 degrees in hour by hour we go. Rain and snow showers approach the region after the midnight hour, and at 6 o'clock in the morning commute. Watch out for some snow showers, especially from the city and areas to the north, but rain showers and a mix of rain and snow, especially in extreme south and central and southern there. 9 o'clock in the morning, it's much of the snow in the suburbs. Off rain snow showers in Delaware and South Jersey. 12 meters on. How much snow are we talking? Well, for South Jersey and Delaware, no accumulation takes place. Up and down the I-95 corridor in areas north of cold best, less than an inch with the bulk of the snow in Poconos and north of Allentown, northern Brookhaven County, 3 inches of snow there. Brenda, back over to you.
Robert, thank you. Let's check out our anytime news headlines. Police are doing a double check at SEPTA's Transportation Center. We're told 2 shots behind this morning. There's more operations for what led up to the shooting. It does tell us the shooting did not service instructions. We continue to where a person police say shot a mother and her 5-year-old baby. It happened on North Robinson Street.
There's only one mother.
Mom and baby, thankfully, are expected to recover. The police department has not, but family says it was someone who is known to the victims. Exclusive video of a motor truck smashed into a Montgomery County work. This is surveillance video inside the Pennsburg Beer and
Skyrosine. Just your artist.
Increase infections or before treatment for infections and TB. Typically flu-like symptoms.
Now this out. Ask your doctor about Skyrosine. These players aren't playing game. They're building future right. They're making it an Olympics.
This is ID Time on the ABC.
That's tumultuous marriage.
According to Kim, say good job to him. But able to stay highway patrol to express her belief that this, in fact, was a murder.
She had been having an affair with her boss.
Prosecutor says after his wife, he washed hands and washed his form.
They called us back to turn the truck.
I thought it made more work than it did. Some people just like.
The only thing I've ever wanted was to get everyone to hear the truth. I told them that I would fight everything I had.
Double L. I'm with my niggas, chillin' in the back door. We act the fool cause we don't know how to act. I can't stop it, you better get back home. And she make it clap, though. She make it bounce, bounce, bounce with precision on that cocaine acid. Look like a I'm higher than a mall. I'm higher than a mall. Give me 1 second, I bet I get back. No trick, it's back to, it's back to. It's the kind of stuff that we don't matter if you turn up or you turn down. You play with fire, make a burn out. Roll the dice, make it's my turn now. If you the flyest, let them know. If you the flyest, let them know. If you the best, let them know. If you the best, let them know. When you shit ain't just a shout. I just got to know.
Like a very good environment.
Great.
Brad loved cars, especially classic muscle cars, and extra especially 1970s.
By the time he was motors and understand how different vehicles.
So Brad, you car and stuff. Your mom, Lisa.
Very. She could be really happy and like sort of like the life of the party kind of person.
Well, Brad ran the farm and scientist. Lisa worked at a local internet company.
She became like their top.
Oh, Lisa was the mom who actually liked the house. Big. It seemed like a happy household. Of course, there is a cone using a crack. And in Jenny's house, those were sudden blowups. The room went dark and kids scattered.
They would fight once every couple weeks or something. Mostly late evening at night after they do drinking, they're yelling, and maybe saying orders, things about anything, nothing. I never really thought too much about it.
Now it was that calamitous Christmas Eve, 2006. It's always been a happy dinner celebration with Brad and the family.
Christmas Eve we would go to their homes, they're in town.
And then back home, games and stocking stuffing, and of course,
Open all the presents.
Brad bought her a $3,500 ring. Got the kids to help him pick it up. Back from Grandma's a chance to hide her stocking. But Lisa kept the computer, and the kids playing the board game.
And we just played downstairs. Basically when
It was well after midnight when they heard the radio voices downstairs.
I had the yelling and everything. A normal fight like they always have.
And then a door slammed, which meant that Brad had gone to the workshop. But Lacey on the holiday was determined not to fight him.
You played with fire, now you're proud.
She was done.
And so my sister decided to go downstairs with her.
Go back to Africa, bitch, for your turn.
Saying something like, I would never treat my parents that way.
Lacey was just head out.
I just can't.
That Lacey was out of there.
She left her house. Left her.
So by the time she left, your dad was out.
What's turn up?
Well, he was outside. He was out a lot. Outside and go out to shop.
So went inside and closed her eyes, drifted off. And sometime after 1:30 a.m., that loud frantic found her father on 911. She ran downstairs to her parents' bedroom.
I opened the door and I see her laying there and my dad is kneeling next to her. And as soon as I open the door, he gets up and kind of pulls me out of the room and he's hugging me and crying.
But that there was no doubt. How? Why? And who?
Coming up, what is happening in that bedroom? I didn't realize the gravity of it. I found the accident. She was on the way to the hospital.
The truth would be much worse. Do you have any suspicion?
I've been dreaming one Sunday, all my troubles fade. I know. There's a day coming.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, you should come to my dog's birthday party. I would, but I have to sell a car. Would you sell Carvana? Droppers, 100% I'll pick up. You told me about Carvana. Did I? Find your car?
I mean, that could be anybody's car. If you find someone's Carvana, we can't. I just sold a car. We're gonna walk. Sell your car today.
We hope this never happens to you, but if it does, remember our name on law, your injury lawyers.
Hey, bedtime 6.
Thank you. Holiday magic made easy. Gotta have Lala. It's a magic. Seeing your third big size in a row. Proving you're right. We're doing meteor. So fellas, legendary. This is your jackpot for your submissions. How about this? No seats. That's where you tell the rest of your lives. Or a secret swap. You know, tell everything goes wrong. Whatever makes legendary for you, we can all happen here. Then at GM, legendary.
The pay level is over 10, and my doctor recommended I go to Good Thing and try the Arch Sports.
See for yourself. Free personalized art support at the Good Feet store.
We hope this never happens to you, but if it does, remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers.
When you walk into a wedding center, you're walking into amazing prices and silence.
The awful Christmas morning of 2006. The morning he lost his mother. A blessing that something is bringing his blocked memory.
Artist of American.
Amanda, 16 at the time, remembers every dreadful day.
Just shocked, obviously very sad, but didn't know what to do, you know.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
And the
They all arrived and we had to leave the house so they could work. And so we went outside and waited in my truck. It was cold.
How do we get in there? Talk much?
Just shocked, mostly silence. I was saying she's gonna be okay. He didn't know what happened. He didn't see her or nothing. No one was saying what happened. And my dad was just sitting over in the passenger seat doing his best, and that was the first time I heard she cried.
Usually this spread very fast, but often it seems to happen far.
I didn't realize the gravity of it. I thought there had been an accident. She was on the way to the hospital.
Lisa was gone, dead, killed by a bullet at close range. Argued with Lisa, then left. He found her on the bedroom floor, his head under your eye. The better assessed to Lisa's progress.
It couldn't take an argument.
That acquired the gun. And Lisa's right hand tested positive. Randomly came out negative. Meaning, Lisa corporate. And Lisa for reasons unknown.
In my house, I do not give a fuck.
It made sense to me that, you know, she had conflicts or could be a red flag.
Brad and Lisa's brother-in-law, Paul, dying was sick. What did they miss?
Those kids.
Lisa had seemed so together. They loved family, they loved having kids.
There was never an visit.
I know.
One kids to spend the night.
My kid.
She might end up with 5
Take it to the shelter.
different. It was fine there.
But now, this accommodating somebody woman was dead. It was all very shocking.
It's not like that. All of this is the competitive business. The idea that you could see that. So probably I don't know like that. Right? More than something that would be visual.
Of course, the alternative was quite unthinkable.
Did you have any clue? You could feel terribly distraught. Like a moment. Had you told me the whole story? No, it never crossed my mind.
In fact, after all the lab test results were in, the Dallas County Sheriff and Coroner and Prosecutor all officially ruled he's dead. Suicide. The local newspaper nothing reflects quoted the prosecutor, who said there is zero evidence to show otherwise.
But you had no sense, no reason to think it was anything other than what the coroner and the sheriff said it was.
Absolutely.
But they were not so sure.
It starts with suspicion. Lisa's sister feels compelled to share what she knows.
She went to the New State Highway Patrol to express their belief that this act was murder.
And investigators brought suspect Brad James. Started asking questions about Brad because what did James say to that line had to play? Well, he did, right? Didn't he?
The relentless need, monitors girls with colitis symptoms to keep coming back. Recollect what's possible. With rapid relief at 4 weeks, many people experience remission at 1 and even 2 years. Some saw 100% visible healing of their intestinal lining. Some allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection with less symptoms or you can get a vaccine. Healing is possible with offers self-administration from the start. Ask your doctor about your Maya today. Herbal essences, supercharged botanical blends, our sulfate-free formulas deeply penetrate to boost hair health without All Naturals price tag. Herbal essences.
Not how all of the country kids children were able to go home with families and holidays. And it's only possible because of the month. Just like
Those who generous donor, your first gift of $19 a month will have 3 times the impact. So with your gift, it's $19.
You ain't been fire, now you're burnt out. Stella? Stella? My Stella?
the old days of call number on your screen. Or you can visit loveshiners.org right now on your phone computer.
your first gift of $19 a month will have 3 times the impact. Take because that time plus available for the holidays, and your gift makes that possible. We might make your Christmas present this year.
Please call the number on your screen or go online right now.
And when you can only your first gift will have 3 times the impact. Thank you for giving.
East of America, Buffalo, Missouri, population 3,000 or so, where people tend to know each other's business, and where Brad, the best friend, met both in diapers. So of course, Dale Potter rushed over to see Brad that very Christmas morning.
She just gets why Dale, what you did this. He was an ass.
All was not just that. Dale owned a pawn shop, so when Lisa's death was quick suicide, Jennifer turned Brad's son one killed. Brad was called to Dale.
He said, I don't want to get back. And actually, when he would, he said he wanted. I said, yeah, but I'll play it up. It's been like forgot.
And the family tried to move on. Didn't pay much attention. What is he saying? Odd things.
No, Mom was murdered.
Murder. Not that it was anyway an accusation. Listen, unfriendly.
She didn't act anything like that. Still around, he's still over.
But some get back on the office about that.
It was like something. Probably everyone was talking about it, but they didn't about us.
But Lisa's younger sister, Sean, was talking.
She saw her sister would not be a person that would have been suicide.
This is Steve. Right to call it Steve nuclear couple around. What did you get? And it started with his sister, Sean, not listening. Christmas morning.
And early January, she went to the office of the State Highway Patrol to express their belief that this in fact was a murder.
She got to have the experience of technique and Nash.
Long-time investigator who's been involved in several high-profile murders.
And Sergeant Nash, I'm looking at that fact. Something forensic. He was planning to agree with Sean. Didn't look like suicide at all.
He was just struck by the fact that if Lisa Jennings had tried to self-use her, they would roll back and that would and we're not going to do it.
3 months after that, investigator Nash drove over to Brad's farm. Told him he was looking at the case.
On it, the battle that Mr. Jennings was working at.
The road owner said he found Lisa dead and held her in his arms.
Why the bathroom even? He's all, I'm sure he had been cleaned or something after this event.
Apparently they're not. Mr. Jennings had spent a little time going back and his wife had taken her life.
So Brad gave Nash black bathroom. Sure enough, so that blood. So Brad's test. That's just up to Brad. Then, a month later, the table out. The sheriff came called that Dale Potter's gun and on.
Then he said, I'm here to see is the James.
Then, weeks after that, a guy in a t-shirt khakis walked in.
Well, he's a sergeant with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. He said, I'm here to investigate the murder of Lisa James. I said, what are you talking about? Murder is in the paper. You know, it was suicide. And he said,
that was all.
Because what did James say to you about having an affair? I said, you knows that word, Dave. His wife having an affair. Why was she? And yes, and we were explains a lot. He said, you mean Mike Gilbert? I said, no. I said, why you did this? I said, everything caught up with her.
Then Dale offered the sergeant a little family history.
I said, you know that her dad killed himself? And he goes, crap. He said, her dad's a he was winning. Her stepdad was winning. Her real dad killed himself out of cancer.
Not family suicide and a fear. Because where was this investigation?
New color, like that, degree. Hence the COPD you can do right at home. Picture, less flare, hospital visits. New colors and injection to uncontrolled COPD. This is a marker inflammation. New colors and sudden brain problems. Allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, airway, restoring, face, tongue, or shorter, if cautions occur. Does not include several things on your doctor. Tell your doctor about parasitic infection. Ask your doctor. You call that.
Uncontrolled brightness called TD, turning dysfunction. If you embarrass it, why ask my doctor? I'm treating my TD with fever. Number one distracting factor. Use TD with slightly and times with most serious responses is 2 weeks. And
suicide ball reactions due to high resistance. Depressive behavior, changes also hot, slow taking resolution. Serious effect may include motion catches, some potential feels like life sleepiness, those cause and possible problems. Still address the face, before you call, teach or fevers. Some people threaten, chickies, fits, truly trouble, problems that occur. Take control not to asking your doctor about.
Keep your house so everything is stay fresh. Always let some can. People and make us look court. And lots of money so much stay dry. Keep it up your hands for eating it. See what happens for you.
So congested. Just connect, breathe. What is wrong?
New Jersey, it's not equality affordable health insurance. Get coverage. Thank you for your healthcare, car prescriptions, emergency care, more. 8 to 10, all offering help lower costs. Please enroll now at coverage.nj.gov.
Every touch of heart is going to be on where? All that car.
Hey, it's not equality affordable health insurance. Get coverage. Plans include free healthcare, coverage, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. 8 to 10, all offering enroll now at coverage.nj.gov.
Welcome back to Day One. Right home. Rule the suicide. Look, the file was known as him. The tip for tying off. People use every murder that comes from bad as a trigger. Now, that's what we visit. Or we fracture the which is one part. Once again, there's divorce and death. Oh, wait, everybody. Buffalo's already knew that Brad Jennings, the attorney husband, no mercy. Everybody. And it drives him 7 months after his death. It did. Out of his house, 2 or 3 out of people like Lisa's sister Sean went to the highway patrol in the first place, and we asked for interviews. They declined.
When I was arrested, with me at the house, and also my grandma showed up to pick us up, and
it sounds to me like they sort of want to
open person, you know, went to
Brad brother-in-law Paul said he had the highway patrol with Brad was $1 million bond, wanted to remain free of this trial. So he had the case.
And every time I spoke with him, he said couldn't go try. He had to say it, he said it couldn't.
Still saying after the trial in August 2009.
Go steal! Was like emotions are flying around.
But by midnight, the jury was making trial began.
And we mistakes in my stomach, just listening to the prosecution was just like,
Okay, I did say,
and I was wanting to let them object.
Because Marshall was even the Brad's attorney there that he was.
Mr. Deputy, anything Brad's offense.
Was looking music in their life.
I didn't know what I could do. I wanted to get them together here for a moment.
So the prosecutor says it's a logical inference from Jennings after he shot his